most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small.
But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, painting us too.
He stared from his cave with a sour, gringy frown at the warm, lighted windows below in all town, for he knew every who down in Whoville beneath was busy now, hanging a mistletoe wreath.
And hurry that pudding.
He snarled with a sneer.
Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here.
And he stood with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming.
I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming.
For he knew all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys.
Oh, the noise! Oh, the noise, 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 noise! That's the one thing we hate here!
Noise!
Noise!
Then the Who's young and old would sit down to a feast.
And we feast, and we feast,
Feast!
We feast on Who pudding and a rare Who roast beef.
which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least.
Then we do something that he likes least of all.
Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing.
And we sing!
And we sing, and we sing, sing! And the more the Grinch thought of this cool Christmas thing,
The more the Grinch thought,
I must stop this Who thing. I must get this tree out. I put up in it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how?
and the Grinch got an idea.
An awful idea. I know just what I'll do.
Grinch laughed in his throat.
then he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat.
And he chuckled and clucked.
What a great Grinchy trick. With this hat and this coat, I look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer.
The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there's none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? Yes! The Grinch simply said,
Gosh darn it. I can't find a reindeer. I'll make one. Instead. So we call his dog Max. Oh, Max!
And he took some red thread, and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. down the chimney, a rather tight pinch.
But if Santa could do it,
Then so could the Grinch.
He got stuck only once for a moment or two.
and he stuck his head out of the fireplace too, when the little goose stockings all hung in a row.
These
Okay.
He grinned.
are the first things to go.
And he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present.
House guns, bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboard, tricycles, popcorn, and plums.
And he stuffed them into his bag.
And the Grinch very nimbly stuffed the huge bag, shove by shove, up the chimney. Then he slunk with the ice.
He took the Who's feet. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beef.
Why, he swept that icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took the last can of brew hash. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee.
And now
Grinned the Grinch.
I will chop out that tree. The Grinch got the tree and started to shove.
When he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove.
He turned around fast and he saw a small Who. Little Cindy Lou Who was not more than 2.
The Grinch had been caught by the tiny blue dog, who had gone out of bed for a cup of cold water.
She stared at the Grinch and said,
Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?
But you know that old Grinch was so smart and so slick, he thought of a lie.
He thought of quick. Why, my sweet little honey?
the fake Santa Claus lied.
That's my problem, tree. That was my problem, child. So I'm taking it back to my workshop, my dear. I'm fixing up there and bring it back. Yeah.
And the fifth fooled the child.
And he patted her head and he got her a drink, sent her to bed.
And as Cindy Lou went to bed with the cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up.
Then the last thing he took was a log for their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar.
On their walk, he left nothing but hooks and some wire.
And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other whose houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other whose mouses.
It was 1:15 dawn.
All of who's still abed.
All the food didn't snooze.
When he packed up his sled, packed it up with our presents.
The ribbons! The wrappings! The tags!
The tinsel!
The trimmings.
The trappings! 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet. He rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. Cuckoo! Toodle!
He was Grinchishly humming.
They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming.
ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling.
How could